Summer-like weather's on the way. Prince Harry's going to the coronation, and we've got an update from Richmond tonight as the plastics recycling plant continues to burn. Welcome inside the comfy confines of the Channel 13 studios. Felicia, my friend, we are getting closer to the weekend.
It's coming on. So come on. We'll get to business in just a hot second, but let's get to Angela because she has the info that we've been loving to hear.
Right. So Angela is here, and we had a beautiful day. Lots of sunshine, blue sky.
We did.
Got a repeat performance tomorrow?
It's just about.
Nice.
77, 78, close to 80 today.
Right.
We're expecting those numbers again tomorrow, so take full advantage. We've got another sunny, warm, dry day for us. 52 at 8 a.m., 73 at noon, and highs like today, upper 70s and low 80s. Talked a little bit about this yesterday. We're watching some Gulf moisture that's sitting along the Gulf Coast now. It starts to make a move north, and it's the reason we'll have a few clouds around. But as I said during the early evening newscast, don't cancel any outdoor plans for Friday, Saturday. Most of us are going to be dry most of the time. Is there an outside chance for a stray shower? Yes. Do I think the steadiest rain is mainly south and east? Yes. But just stick with us. We'll continue to keep you updated on that rain chance. We get a few pop-ups around on Friday afternoon. And then as the cold front arrives on Saturday, we get more coverage of some scattered showers and thunderstorms, and then behind it, a big temperature drop. I do want to take you into the state of Florida. A flooding emergency taking place in and around the Fort Lauderdale area. I've seen a lot of video and pictures coming in from flooded areas near and around the airport. This pocket of white, radar is estimating almost 20 inches of rain.
20 inches of rain?
20 inches of rain. So this may be a story that we see and follow nationally over the next day or so.
Wow.
But it is still raining, and this storm has been stuck over the last 6, 8, 10 hours. And raining heavily. I've got some family that I checked on down there, and they've got some friends that are dealing with flooding at this point, and they're urging people to stay off the roads because now it's dark and the rain continues to fall. So not local story, but I thought I'd give you an update just in case you were curious, and perhaps you've been on social media and seen some of the videos so far.
My goodness, 20 inches. Can't even imagine what that must be like down
Yeah,
there.
I don't want to imagine.
No, that is too much rain in too short of time, honestly.
All right, we'll get back to Angela in a moment. Do want to turn our attention to one of the stories that we will be covering for you on 13 News at 11. Of course, the fire that we've been covering since, well, yesterday afternoon, Felicia, continues to burn in Richmond. This is the plastics recycling plant, that giant warehouse that was filled floor to ceiling with plastic. And our Karen Campbell was there today and reports on what officials are saying about the firefighting efforts.
The entire complex is either burning or has burned.
A plastic recycling warehouse in Richmond, Indiana that caught fire Tuesday afternoon, sending thick black plumes of smoke into the sky. A fast-moving fire, Mayor Dave Snow says, started in a tractor trailer.
When this fire broke out, it spread through both the structures on the site and the outdoor storage that was on site.
There's different piles on the facility. There's semi-trailers that are full of plastic. There are buildings that are full of plastics. So that's what we're dealing with.
Fire crews now using excavators to gain more access.
Yesterday we only had one way into the entire structure.
A structure fire now releasing toxic smoke into the air. The EPA is monitoring air quality.
As the fire cools down, you're going to have more ground level smoke, and that'll be as important for us to be monitoring.
And collecting and testing potential contaminants.
Fortunately, the toxic compounds that we're looking for, we're not seeing, but everyone needs to keep in mind that smoke is harmful.
Reasons why officials have evacuated thousands of residents.
These are very fine particles, and if they're breathed in, can cause all kinds of respiratory problems. Burning of the eyes, tightening of the chest, it could aggravate asthma.
So just a massive fire out there that continues to burn. We've got Rachel Krause, who will join us in about an hour over on Channel 13 to update us on how things are going out there. But again, fire officials last night, Felicia, said this could burn for days.
Yeah, that's definitely not what anyone wants to hear. I mean, it's tough on the crews. I mean, you have surrounding areas responding and
Right.
trying to help out Richmond Fire. And then, of course, the environment. I mean, everyone is wondering, what are the lasting effects going to be?
Right. And I think one of the more shocking pieces of video we had was actually live with Jenny Runovich.
Yeah.
In this just haze of smoke
Right.
in the evacuation zone. And, you know, we were talking about what kind of weather do we want? You know, you can't really have too strong winds because that could fuel the stuff that's still burning.
Yep.
And transport some of those toxins elsewhere. Don't know if we really want rain because
Right.
that would then start to soak into the ground. I don't know. We just want it out.
Right.
And it's so easy to be like, evacuate, get out now, go someplace else, be safe, go stay with family or friends, go check in to the Red Cross or a church or something like that. The fact of the matter is a lot of people don't have a place to
Right.
go. It's easy to say, and I know officials are trying to give the best advice and save lives, but that's not the reality for a lot of
Yeah.
people.
No, and you get a lot of people that don't want to leave their home.
That's right.
Either, you know, they
That's
just
right.
don't want to leave their home and what's in it. And
All that.
It's sad.
So you'll get a live look at Richmond tonight at 11 o'clock. All right, let's talk Royals. Occasionally we talk about the Royals here, don't we, Felicia?
Yes, and it kind of gets, depending on the topic, depending on who you're talking to in our newsroom, it gets
Right.
a few folks riled up.
It does. It does get us riled up. And obviously, look, you know what's been happening with King Charles and Prince Harry and Meghan and the kind of the back and forth and everything that's been going on with the brothers. And so the coronation is coming up next month. And so there was lots of talk based on Prince Harry and the book that he did and all the interviews that he did talking about his father and Camilla and Meghan and all of the different allegations that have been tossed around. There was a lot of talk as to whether or not Prince Harry would go back to England and watch Charles in his coronation. So today we found out that in fact, yes, he will be at the coronation, but Meghan will not. Meghan is going to stay behind in California with Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. Obviously, lots of speculation, and one of the royal historians says it does not appear as though Harry is going to have a big role during the coronation.
I'm sure he's okay with that.
And we understand that also it's going to be quite a short. Harry's just going to kind of pop in and out. He's not staying for all the extra banquets and all the extra meetups before. So it's going to be a real flying visit from Harry to come round.
Yeah, I guess there are 3 days of celebrations and events and parties and that kind of thing. So based on what we're hearing, it appears as though Prince Harry's going to sort of dash in, do the coronation ceremony at Westminster Abbey, and then go back to California. But Meghan will not be there. So, all right, we've talked in the past about how we feel about all of this and how things have happened and the friction and the fallout that's taken place in the royal family.
So one of the things that Scott and I agree heavily on is that King Charles, well, Queen Elizabeth first, but now that King Charles is who is the head of the family, he should have fixed it. Why? Because that's what the leader of a family does. It was Queen Elizabeth at one point, but King Charles, the father, he's supposed to fix it. He's supposed to bring it together. And I know that's one thing that Harry, kept talking about, and everyone kept asking Prince Harry, didn't you go to the Queen and ask her? And didn't you go to your dad and talk to him? And they were like, yes and no, and we couldn't get on a schedule, and my camp would talk to their camp, and it's like, no. Walk down the hallway, knock on the door of where your loved one is. We know where they are, and have a conversation.
Fix your family.
Fix your family.
Fix your family. I think, look, I mean, Charles is, as you say, he's the monarch, he's the sovereign. He ought to just fix this thing.
Look, I'm tapping my foot.
Right.
Fix it.
Look, if it means going to California and apologizing to Harry and Meghan, that's what I think should happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's what I think it should happen, and fix this, solve this, bring this group together, and make sure that William and Harry have straightened things out, sit them in a room until they get this thing figured out.
Yes, with no one else.
But you're not talking about 10 and 12-year-olds here. You are talking about grown adults.
Right.
Yeah, who are like 10 and 12-year-olds.
Right, I get that, but it's very difficult, you can't tell them what to do.
I think it starts with an apology. I think there's obviously a lot of hurt emotions going on between Harry and Meghan and Prince Charles and William and everything that's happened there. look, I think that Harry probably has tried to make amends. He's written a book, and
Do
I
you
didn't
think
I
agree
think he's
with.
tried.
You think
I
he has
think
tried
he's
to make
tried.
amends?
I
do.
think that he did try
I do.
based on, I think he tried to talk to his dad. I think he tried to talk to his brother. I don't think any of the men handled this well.
No.
And I don't think the Queen handled it well. When she was in charge, she should have sat everybody down, gotten the whole family set up, and said, "Look, we're gonna change this." And
She was up in her years
Of
at
course.
that point. So
She's like, I ain't got time. I can't do this family
Right,
drama. Whew.
right.
Whew.
but you're right. It is adults, but I
They
think
are
that-
adults. You cannot tell them what to do.
Yes,
and
you can, because I'm the queen.
I think I'm the queen of my family, and I've got 19 and 22 and a 50-something.
Yeah.
I can't tell any of them what to do.
I'm happy
I can't
at
even tell Rosie what to do at this point.
I'm happy at least that Harry is going to show up
Yes.
and be there for the coronation and honor his dad. I hope that this is a first step in repairing the friction that obviously is still there. And hopefully the next big event that happens,
Yeah.
we will see Meghan and the kids and everybody will be there to all get along. You don't see this happen.
Well, you only turn king once, and so
but there
I
are going to
think,
be other events, right?
yeah, but you only turn king once.
Yeah.
Who's next in
so-
line?
Well, William is
William.
next in
So,
line.
I mean, really.
But I
So
mean,
I don't think he cares about having a big role, but I do think it's a good sign that he's showing up. That's a positive.
yeah. I wasn't a big fan of all of the press and publicity that Harry did
Based on the
following the
book,
book
sure.
and stuff. I felt like, look, settle this behind closed doors.
Right, because a lot of his issue is with how tabloids and the press
Of course.
portrayed when his mother was killed.
Right.
And then how they treated Meghan.
Yep.
But then he's out there asking for it.
I know.
Kind
But he's talked heavily about the system too, and how their press teams, like the machine,
Over
Yeah,
there,
that's
for
right.
sure.
So he's talked a lot about that too. I don't know. Some parts of like their interviews, I haven't read the book, but the interviews that I've seen
Right,
from the
right.
book and also the documentary that they did, some parts of it have felt, icky, like, oh, this just should be private. But then at the
Right.
same time, I mean, when you feel like you're talking to a brick wall and you can't get through to anyone, you just say, forget it. It's the same thing that Princess Diana did. She said, forget it.
Forget
And
it,
then
sure.
she did that interview.
Right.
You got to feel like you're taking your voice in some kind of way and owning it when you can't get anyone else to listen.
When I did hear you all talking about it during the early evening newscast, and I'm with you, it really is on Charles.
It is.
He's the one in charge.
He sets the
should be
royal
fixing
rules,
it.
just like Queen Elizabeth
Yeah.
did. So
He should try. Whether he can tell them what to do or
Yeah.
not, he should be a leader and lead by example and
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and tell our viewers what they're saying.
Uh-oh.
Teresa's saying, "I'm sorry, not a fan of Meghan and Harry. That's all I have to say. LOL."
All she has to say.
Teresa also said, "I'm with Angela on this." Let's see. Glenn is with us. Catherine is with us. Daniel says it is so sad that the royal family can't act royal. Let's see. Let's see who else is.
Can I just say, a little bit of me is like,
Lisa's
They're
not,
normal. They're
their
messed up.
family has problems just like
too.
mine does.
Lisa's not happy that we're talking about this this long. So
Oh, okay.
apologize, Lisa. I mean, there are other places to go and other stations to watch and other things to do. And Fulton wants to know what's the weather for Tuesday and Wednesday of next
Fulton.
week.
Oh, I do know.
Already thinking about next week.
I do know, Fulton.
You
We'll
must
be
have plans.
mid-50s Tuesday, Wednesday close to 60. Both days right now look dry.
Okay, that's good. And Chad says nobody cares.
Okay.
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 There you go. All right, we're so glad that you were with us here at 10 o'clock. And the three of us will be with you over on 13 News at 11. We'll see you over in about 45 minutes. Good night.